Grade 9, Exercise 51, Memo to the Journals. Right, so I'm going to first look at the transactions that affect the cash receipts journal. So if we have a look here on the first, you'll see there's a cash sale according to the cash register roll of 1395, and the owner deposited 10,000 Rand to increase his capital, and receipt 18 was issued. So let's have a look at what goes on here. Now there's two transactions happening here on the first. First, we have a cash register roll on the first. We made a sale, 13,395 into analysis, bank and sales, and you have to work out the cost of sale. Now here they give you the markup. They say the stock is sold at a markup of 50%. So everything in here we need to deal with 50%. So remember, what do? You take 13,395 divided by 100 plus the markup. So divided by 150 times 100 to get to your cost of sale. Now the second one says that the owner increased his capital. It does not say that the owner deposited directly into the bank account. The wording here is very bad. In a test or exam, I would say to you the owner made a direct deposit or he didn't. So here, those of you that may have put it in analysis of receipts, that's fine. If you didn't, if you put it straight into bank, that is also fine because it's very unclear. But they did say that the owner wanted a receipt, so we issued a receipt. We received money from the owner. Maybe some of you put it in analysis of receipts. That's fine. If you did that, make sure you add it up so you have 23,395 in bank. If not, if you didn't put it through the till, you've got to put the 10,000 into bank and into sundry for capital. Okay, the next transaction was on the 3rd. It says, you received a check from C. Monroe to settle his account on the 1st of July. Where do we find this? The 1st of July is with his balances. So I need to go up to the balances and see, what did he owe me? At the beginning of the month, he owed me 10,000, which means he's come to pay us this 10,000 Rand. So you need to go and put that in. You are going to issue him with a receipt. C. Monroe has paid us. It's going to go in the till. At the end of the day, we will bank it. And it's a debtor that is paying us, so it needs to go into debtors control. Then, the next one. On the 8th, cash sales were 12,000 Rand. So that's just a normal sale. So it's CRR on the 8th. Remember, you just say sales. You don't say cash sales. 12,000 in analysis, bank and sales. Remember, there's a 50% markup, so you're going to say 12,000 divided by 150 times 100 to get to the 8,000. The next one is on the 15th. So we have cash sales amount to 750 Rand, and we received 10,000 from Mfaba on his account. So there's two things happening here. First, there's a cash sale of 750 Rand. So we come in here on the 15th, CRR on the 15th. You can see I put a red block around because I explained to you that it should be 750 and not 7,500. That obviously the person of the answer book typed in an extra 0. So you should say 750 in analysis, 750 in sales, and your cost of sales should be 500. Okay. There's a second transaction here. A debtor paid us back. So you're going to write the debtor's name. He paid us 10,000, so it's 10,000 into analysis of receipts. Remember, that should be 750. So here you should have 10,750. And then it's 10,000 in debtors control. The next time something happens is on the 26th. We received 2,400 from Arnsa in part payment of his account. So again, here we have a debtor paying us money, and they're paying us 2,400 Rand. So we come in receipt on the 26th, Arnsa, 2,400 in analysis. At the end of the day, we take it out of the till and we bank it, and it goes into debtors control. The next time something happens is on the 28th. We received 9,000 Rand from Cronia on his account, as well as 2,500 in respect for an office space rented to him. So what is happening here? We've received 9,000 that is for his account, so that he's paying off, and 2,500 is for rent. So we've got to add those two figures together. We received a total of 11,500. So we're going to issue him with the receipt. Who we're receiving money from? Cornelia. We've received the total. It's the 9,000 plus the 2,500 into the till at the end of the day. We banked it. We received 9,000 in payment of his account, and we received 2,500 for rent income. Lastly, it says Mfaba settled his account up to date. With this, you've got to calculate absolutely everything the person owes us up to the 30th of the month. So you've got to start off with the balance. So at the beginning, he owed you 10,125. So I show you that. At the beginning here, he owed you that. Now, if I quickly go and look, I have got it here. I must just quickly open it up. If you go and look in your debtors journal, you can see we sold to him for 11,250 on the 3rd, and we made a sale of 4.5. So we have to add those two figures together as well, because he owes us for those two figures as well. So now if I go back here, you will see that's the amount at the beginning. Then we sold to him the 11,250, and we sold to him for the 4.5. If you look here, did he pay us at any point in time? Yes. Can you see here on the 15th, he paid us 10,000 Rand. So you've got to add and subtract everything that he's done so far. So at the beginning, that's what he owed us. Then we made a sale to him, so he owed us that. Then he paid us some money back. Then he made a further purchase from us. So when you add all of those figures together, at the end, he's going to pay us everything he owes us up until the end, which is 15,875. Then obviously you add up all of your columns. This cost of sales column can get added up in the same line as everything else. I'm not sure why they've got it here. Okay, so my bank would be off because here they've got 17,500 to say 10,750. So you need to add it up and get the proper bank figure. This is incorrect. You need to get the proper sales figure. You need to get the proper cost of sales figure because those figures are incorrect. Now let's go and have a look at the debtors journal. Okay, so the debtors journal. Here we've got the debtors journal. So on the 3rd it says stock sold on credit to Mfaba for 11,250, invoice 82. Now remember, this is going to be the selling price. So you've sold it on credit, it's got to go into the debtors journal. So that's your invoice number. On the 3rd, the debtor's name, the sale is 11,250. How do we get to the cost of sale? You take the 11,250 divided by 150 times it by 100. Okay, then on the 12th. On the 12th, Cornelia bought goods on credit less 10%. So our debtor has bought goods at a trade discount less 10%. The stock was initially marked at 9,900. Okay, now this is a lot of information. So they're saying originally in the shop, the stock was marked at 9,900. But when he came in, because he's such a good customer, we said, you know what, we'll give you a 10% discount. So we're going to minus 10% from the 9,900. But you've always got to work out the cost price on the original selling price. So you've got to take the 9,900 first. Okay? So you've got to take the 9,900 and work back to the cost of sales. So 9,900 divided by 150 times 100 gives you the original cost of sale. So you straight away going to put in the original cost of sale. Okay? Then you're going to say, okay, we marked it at 9,900, but we've given him a 10% discount. So if you say 9,900 times the 10%, you will get to 990, and you need to minus it. And that is how much he's then going to owe us. Okay, think about it. If you go to a shop and something is normally sold for 200 Rand and you walk in on a day and it's marked at 170 Rand, the cost of that you're buying never changed. That company would have bought it in. So say, for example, with my book example, if we bought in a book for 100 Rand a book and we normally sell it at 200 Rand. Now, these books that we're trying to get rid of on a sale are kind of going out of fashion. People aren't buying it anymore, so I'll mark it down to 170 Rand. So now people can come in and buy it at 170 Rand. That does not mean that the cost changed. The cost that I bought it at was always 100 Rand. That doesn't change. only the amount I'm selling it for changes. So in other words, the amount of profit I'm going to make on that sale is going to change, but not the cost of sale. The cost of sale stays the same. Okay, remember that. All right, then on the 18th. On the 18th, the credit sale amounts to 2,300, so that goes in as normal. We put in our invoice number, the debtor that owes us the money. We put the sales price into that. We need to work out our cost of sales. So you say 2,700 divided by 150 times by 100. Then on the 21st. On the 21st, you have cash sales to Orensa and to Mfaba. So you've got two here. You've got to separate them. You've got to put them in two different lines because they're two different debtors. You can't add them together. Okay, so you've got to have the one on the one line of 930 and the other one on the other line of 4,500. So that's what we've got here. They each will get issued their own invoice. If you think about it, if you go and buy something on credit at Woolies and the person behind you on the till also buys on credit, they can't add what he bought to what you've bought and put it on one account. They need to keep it separate. Okay, you do need to keep it separate too. You've got two different people here. So the one bought for 930, you're going to say divided by 150 times it by 100, and the one bought for 4.5 divided by 150 times by 100, and you add up your columns. Okay, the final thing I'm going to do in this memo video is quickly talk through the accounting equation. So they asked you to do the third. On the third, you sold on credit. Okay, sold. That means there's a sale. As soon as you see the word sale, how many accounts are affected? 4 accounts are affected. So firstly, it's a duplicate invoice. Remember, the customer gets the original, the business keeps the duplicate. Who owes you more money? The debtor owes you more money. Why does he owe you more money? Because you've made a sale to him. Okay, so debtors are assets and he owes you more, and sales is an income, and incomes increase your owner's equity. The second part of this is that the debtor has walked out of the shop with stock. So trading stock is an asset and it is decreasing because you are selling it. Remember, it's always going to decrease at the cost of sale. Secondly, we have a cost. We have an expense here. Cost of sale is an expense to my sale. So therefore, cost of sales will decrease your owner's equity. So we have minus 7,500 under owner's equity. There was a second transaction on the third, and that was received from Monroe, who settled the account. So Monroe is paying us back, which means as soon as we get money, that means our bank account is involved. So my bank account is going to increase. I have received money. Bank is an asset, so I should say plus 10,000. Debtors are paying us back. So the debtors owe us less money. Debtors control is an asset and it is decreasing. Therefore, under my assets, I should say minus 10,000. Please remember, you can't say plus minus 10,000. You need to say plus 10,000. Underneath it, minus 10,000. The next one they want you to do is on the 15th. Here they talk about a cash sale. Remember, when we make a cash sale, there's still 4 accounts that are affected, but here we've received money. So bank is involved and a cash register roll is the source document. Why did we receive money? Because we made a sale. My bank account is an asset and it has increased, and sales is an income and incomes increase your owner's equity. If we make a sale, we've sold stock. So the stock in our shop has decreased. Trading stock is an asset and it is decreasing. Cost of sales is an owner's equity expense, and expenses decrease your owner's equity. The second part of this was that, again, a debtor paid his account. So it's a receipt. You have received money, so your bank account was involved and increased. So it should say plus 10,000. Your debtor is paying you back, and it's an asset and it's decreasing. So on the next line, you should say minus 10,000. Don't forget your zeros. Don't forget to check 0 plus 11,250 equals 11,250. 0 plus negative 7,500 equals negative 7,500. So don't forget to check.